Hello, Skydive Land.
What? Are we back?
We're back.
Oh, shit. We're back.
Recently,
Welcome, everybody.
yeah, welcome. Recently out on bail, so we decided to record episodes.
We're just going to bank them all up, right?
Oh, man.
So this is Beer, a skydiving podcast.
Been a while.
It's been a while. I was trying to think about it. When was our last episode? Do you know? Was it in February or March?
I think it was before I left for Brazil. Maybe it was after. It was before jump season.
Oh yeah, it was definitely before jump season. Let me see if I can look. But I think it was February, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, who cares? But yeah, I think it was in February.
Yeah, life schedules, things got a little crazy.
January 30th. No, February 13th. That was our last episode.
Okay, so we're only March, April, May. We're only 3 months out.
Well, I guess we're probably going to have like a lot of catching up to do. Maybe not all of it in this episode, but we got a lot of catching up to do, man.
Yeah. In the interim, we did get an email from a listener.
We did. I saw that. You were engaging with him.
Yeah, Dustin Lyric. Yeah, he was asking me about beating the RSL. Like,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
about beating the RSL. But I responded, like, that's not something I would teach. That just happened to be a scenario I was in as a newer jumper. And
Yeah. Well, why don't you recap it? If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Why don't you recap?
Yeah, I think
your situation and then what he was talking about.
Yeah. So he said, he's firing reserve, still depending on me, God forbid, bag lock, kind of mouth, depart. Scary stuff. He thinks if you cut and don't feel anything change, you're likely in an entanglement. As bad as the sim can be, it basically said there's not one clear answer to the situation. Close to the ground, obviously you want as much fabric above your head as possible.
Yeah.
That is your last chance legitimately saving your life, not just retaining handles. One of the best reasons to teach two-hand methods is to build in that time. I think DBs should
Wait like a second or two.
Thanks for hearing me out. Minnesota. He's from Minnesota. MN is
Minnesota. Yeah.
Minnesota. He said.
So he's saying, what he's saying is that you should
give it a second
when you're doing your emergency procedures, cut away. Give it a second for that RSL to engage, and then if it doesn't, go ahead and cut away. Deploy your reserve.
If you're executing your emergency procedures properly, you're ripping the Velcro down, clearing the line to make sure your risers are going to release, and then go for your reserve. Usually by that time, the RSL is being engaged anyway.
It's already out. Yeah.
It's already been engaged. It's already been engaged. It's already pulled your pin. Best case scenario. And then you just pull your reserve to just double check.
Just to be sure.
Just to be sure.
So yeah. I'm sure. So I haven't had a malfunction where I've had to cut away yet.
Yeah.
That isn't something that I've experienced. I imagine the first time that it does happen, I'm going to, butt's going to be all puckered up. I'm going to be like, pull it and just trying to do it as quick as possible. But
I bet you'll realize that time slows down.
You think, does it? All right. So
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely experienced time slowing down and other things. So yeah, I guess I could see that happening. But I would imagine that maybe once you have 3 or 4 cutaways under your belt, it's not such an experience anymore, and you could pull that cutaway handle and you can be like, oh, yep, RSL worked, and then maybe not pull your reserve handle.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think? No?
I would just stick to whatever you're taught. I would teach execute emergency procedures like you normally would.
Yeah, just do it. All right.
Red, grab red, pull red, or look red, grab red, look silver, pull red, grab silver, pull silver. If you're following that cadence and clearing your handle, your number one.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I was taught. It was look, grab, look, pull.
Yeah. So you know what you're grabbing for.
Yeah.
So no, he had a legitimate question or rebuttal. Yeah, mine just happened to be. I think my cutaway was like 1,500 feet, and
That's low.
yeah, it was low. But I couldn't. I did not have a landable canopy, and I was not just gonna pull my reserve at all. I felt like I was high enough. I had enough time, you know. So definitely made sure my handle was clear, you know. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
So
All right, good deal. Well, hopefully he'll see this episode come out and um, hear a little discussion about his email.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to since February, man?
I was on the news.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I think everybody knows by now.
Yeah.
It's no secret. I got to go to a hearing on next month.
Well, I didn't know that they had actually caught
Yes,
up with you.
there was charges filed, and I have a preliminary hearing next month.
All right, so
That's
we
all I
should
could
just say
tell.
what's going on or not.
Well, that's all I could say. That's all I could tell you. They're charging me with allegedly trespassing,
I mean,
building
can you say
people
what you were doing?
on the news,
Yeah.
base jumping off the
Yeah.
PBG
Okay.
building. Yeah.
Yeah. PPG. What?
What?
Yeah. So I mean, we've hardly talked in the last couple months. I didn't realize they had caught up to you. So how'd they find you?
My work schedule has been insane up until like the last 2 weeks. Yeah. We can discuss that at a later date.
All right. Okay.
So,
All right.
but
Well, that sucks. I'm sorry.
well, hey, dude, that's the risk you take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. That's true. It is. Well, have you been doing any legal jumping?
I did do a couple wingsuit jumps at Cleveland 2 weeks ago. Uh,
Right on.
did a solo because I hadn't jumped there in 10 years or so. And I will admit, I was lost. I had no clue where I was.
Dude, it's hard to find. Like the first time I jumped there, I was first out, so I was responsible for spotting the first time. And I looked down and it was just, I swear, like the grace of God, I saw that toilet bowl shaped field. I don't know how I saw it, but I saw it and I was like, okay, fine. Because I wasn't going to jump if I couldn't see it, you know?
Oh,
But
well,
it's hard. It's
figured I'd,
tough.
yeah, I figured I'd find it once I started flying. Like, I looked and watched the last tandem go, and I was the only wingsuiter on the load and the last one off. So I gave them, plenty of time. Then I exited and I recognized the body of water. I'm like, oh,
With that
okay.
lake.
I need to turn left, and then 9,000 feet. I'm going to turn around and come back. And my dither went off about 9,000 feet, and I turned around and started coming back. I'm like, okay, where's the DZ? Where's the DZ? Where's the road? Where's the intersection? Where's the road? Where's the red barn? Where's the toilet bowl? I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I have no clue where I'm at.
Yeah. Isn't the hangar blue? Like there's something that's blue there too that I look for.
I
It might
don't
be
know.
the hangar. I don't
I
know. But yeah.
probably jumped there more times recently than I have. I made 2 jumps that last day I was there, but before that, it's been 10 or 12 years or
Yeah.
whatever. But
It's tough, dude. It's just like a sea of green.
if you can, for me, if I can spot the red barn, then I just follow it to the DZ, like
South. Right, yeah.
right straight to the DZ.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if I ended up dumping it like, I don't know, 4,000 or something. Because I wanted to give myself extra time if I couldn't see what it was.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
opened it, I, unzipped and everything and clasped my slider and I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, I have no idea where I'm at. No clue at all. I'm looking for roads and looking where they come to a point. I'm looking for the red building. And then by like 3,000 feet, which is still a lot of altitude, I looked over just to my left and I saw a canopy and I'm like, yes, there it is. Ooh, I know where I'm at.
I never thought about that. You could always look for canopies too.
Yeah, because I was looking, there was like no canopies, like anywhere. And I happened to just see the last person turning onto their final. And I'm like,
Yeah. Okay.
there they are. There it is. Once you see it, it's like, how
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah, but it's hard to find. It's like one of those optical illusion things, man. It's hard to find. It really is.
That's just green, brown, green, brown, green, brown, green, brown.
Yeah,
Road,
it's
there's
just
a road, random road, a couple barns.
it's just fields, man. It's crazy. Yeah,
Once you spot it though, it's like obvious. Like, oh,
yeah,
duh,
yeah.
duh.
But yeah, but it is hard to find that first time. I haven't jumped there yet this year, but I jumped there quite a bit last year. Yeah,
And then second jump I did rodeo, wingsuit rodeo with Monica,
nice.
which
How'd that go?
it went well actually. The exit didn't go as great as well as I wanted it to go. And looking back at the video, it's probably my fault. I could have been knelt down a lot more, uh, just so she could get a hold of me a little bit. But it was fine. I mean, she grabbed on and shook me when she was ready, and we just one, two, out, and it kind of exited like everything's backwards. Kind of like if we're flying this direction, we kind of exited, and when I came out, I went like this way, and then I was on my back. I was like, oh man. So at that point, I just opened my tail wing, my leg wing, and then opened my arms, and we just did a backflip, and then we were flying.
She was able to hold on.
Yeah, I mean, we were stable in like 2 seconds. It was like,
All right,
out, we're on our back. I'm just going to open up and do a flip, and that's all I did. I just did a backflip, and then we were off.
right on.
So
That's
I got to
something I would like to do.
I got to check the
That'd
fly
be
side
fun.
just to see how fast we were going because we were cooking. Like we were flying, dude.
I mean, wingsuits they go pretty quick.
Well, I had an extra 150 pounds
Yeah.
on my back, Um,
So how does that work? Like, obviously you had a determined altitude in which she would hop off.
yeah, I mean, normally I would fly out to I'd fly off the plane for a couple seconds, make a left, whichever I was going, make a left, fly off, jump, run until about 9,000 feet or something, and start making my way back to the DZ. And then usually, start flaring around 3,500 or something to deploy. And I could tell we were cooking, so like I turned back pretty early. And I was just like, well, that's 6,000 feet or so. I'll just roll over and dump you off. So that's what, yeah. So, but I kind of knew where we were, because we were out there. But like, I turned around, we were coming back, and I was looking down at my mud flap altimeter, and I decided to take my face shield off my helmet and just wear these sunglasses I had, and they worked great.
Nice.
But the problem was every time I would look down at my altimeter, the air would hit just right, and this eye would just water, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't see anything." Oh, I think we're at 6,000, and then I'd like pull my head back up and then blink a couple times, and it's fine. Then I'd look back down again, and then I figured out just the right angle to look at it. So like 5,500 or so, just whoop. It was cool. I dumped her off, and then I was like head down in the wingsuit, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm like flying right beside Monica. Like, this is awesome. Like, she's like, I saw you. You're like right there, head down. It was friggin' sweet. And then I watched her pitch, and then I just leveled out and headed towards the DC and dumped it like, I don't know, 35 or something.
Cool. Right on. So, is that all the jumping you've been doing this year? Because I know you said work was crazy.
Skydiving. Yeah, it's the only
Yeah.
skydiving. I made some base jumps, obviously.
Oh, obviously. That was a that was a pretty good picture of your canopy in the newspaper there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to deny it. That's really all I can say on the matter
Yeah.
at this
All right.
juncture.
All right. Well, I've been jumping pretty much every chance I get. Actually racked up quite a few so far. I think I've gotten almost 20 jumps in.
Nice, man.
Which I
Nice.
yeah, I hadn't realized that actually until today. I started the season with 112, and I'm almost to 130 already. So that's almost 20. Yeah.
You should hit 200 this season.
It's my goal because I want to start next season um, with a wingsuit first jump course so I can have like the whole summer to learn how to fly a wingsuit.
I think you'll be surprised at how. I mean, obviously it's going to be difficult your first time learning, not knowing what you're doing, but the suits these days are amazing.
Pretty easy to fly.
Well, I mean,
Easier anyways.
compared to the suit that I started out in, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the like a intro Tony suit. And then I got a Swift one, and like the ATC that I've obviously bought was last year, the year before. The first time I jumped, I was like, dude, this is amazing. I love this thing.
Things have changed.
Yeah, like I can fly on my back. I haven't flown with anybody else yet on my back in that suit. So like I would like to fly with somebody just so I can gauge kind of how my flight.
Well, there's a handful of wingsuiters at the DZ. I'm sure someone will
Yeah,
fly with you.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'll grab
Yeah.
Alex, somebody,
Yeah.
practice
Yeah.
some.
Right on.
But yeah, it was fun.
I've been doing a lot of tracking jumps and back flying is what I've kind of
I
been
saw, I
splitting
saw,
my time doing.
I saw your legs.
Yeah, trying to learn, man. I'm trying to learn.
Firm. Keep them in place. Boom.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
if you're if you're flying on your back in the neutral position, like your delts and your shoulder blades should really actually get tired. Like when you're
Hmm.
first learning to fly.
Well, so I've done it a couple of times, like last year, and every time I had done it or tried to do it, I realized I was back. I was tracking. I had my arms at my side, and so people were like, "No, don't do that. You gotta have your arms above your head, like when you're,
Yeah, neutral.
on your
Well,
belly, right?" Yeah.
really more of
So
your. Uh, I mean, you could leave them like 90 degrees, right? Like this, just 90 degrees to fly on your back. Because if you want to go backwards, right, that way, you put your leg out and bring your arms in, and just the opposite if you want to go the other
the other
way,
way, arms
bring
out and
your
legs in. Yeah.
legs in.
Well, so I was pretty good at being stable with my arms at my sides, like in a tracking position. But now that I've got my arms out, I have to like kind of figure that out, and that's what I've been trying to figure out is how to be stable that way. And I'm getting there. Like it's better each
Yeah.
time I do it. But
You know what? Stand by for 10 seconds.
10, 9, no, not really. I wonder what he's getting. Oh, look at that. He's got a little
Anyway,
man, the
he's got
Renaissance man.
hey with a rod coming out of his butt. I actually had it hanging on my chandelier as a decoration. Dun, 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 dun. Check this guy out.
See that guy? All right.
Yeah, so really, you want your
Well, you
legs.
you get him all situated. Joe's got a little like a model of a human. He's putting in a position for back flying.
Yeah. So it's like it's almost the same thing as a sit,
Right.
right?
Yep. Yep. And so that's the position that I'm flying in now. Before it was
Yeah,
with my
yeah.
hands
So
at my sides.
doing like this leg motion, you're not going to be, because when you turn, really all you got to do, right, is bring one foot down. That's going to turn you this way,
Okay.
right? Back to neutral, down. That's going to turn you this way, back to neutral, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with your arms, but you should be pushing. You really should be pushing your shoulder blades together.
Lift it up a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So
there
you
you go.
really should be pushing your shoulder blades sort of together to keep that neutral arm position.
Yeah. Okay.
Thing isn't exactly square. It's been twisted and turned so many times, right?
Yeah.
You just keep those legs strong. The legs are really probably what is going to dictate most of your movement.
Yeah,
Into
that's what I was trying to do. Like if I was gonna move, I was trying to do it with my legs as opposed to my
yeah,
arms. Yeah.
yes, but yep, something. It's pretty close to that, about shoulder width apart, about like you're sitting in a recliner almost 90 degrees. And you'll know it. You'll feel it, you know, and
Yeah.
don't keep your head, a lot of people are like looking like this,
Right. You look up
keep
at the sky.
keep your head at the sky because you can always just look down or left, right, at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. And that's definitely what I was doing at first. I was looking at my feet. And so now I'm looking up at the
Yeah,
sun, actually.
as soon as you take your head, you know, out of position, that's going to change your flight characteristics as well, right? Just like
Right.
backtracking,
Yep.
people people will do this: legs together, feet together, and
Right.
then the people
And that's
chasing
kind of
them,
how I
they'll sit,
started. Yeah, like that.
they'll go like, they'll go like this, trying to watch the people, that are chasing. And that now, what you're really doing is
Right.
just doing this. So you keep that, and you can have your arms like this, just not below your main lift web, right? Like tracking, but you got to squeeze those shoulder blades and keep your head straight and look back by looking down. You know,
With your eyes, not your head.
you'll feel it because you'll feel the wind hit you real hard right here whenever your head's in the right position and you got your back kind of tense,
Yeah.
and then and if you really want to get tracking, then you just take these legs and like that. Then you'll get a little bit steeper, but you'll also get more
Horizontal movement.
forward speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. Um Also, I'm well into learning how to become a senior parachute rigger.
Yeah. How many practice?
I've done 5 so far.
So you need 15
15 more.
more.
Yep. And I've been studying all the material for the tests and stuff too. But
Are you going to take a rigorous course? Are you
I'm
going to go
doing it
try?
with the master rigger at the DZ
Yeah.
with Mark. So he's signing off on everything, and then I'll just have to find a designated parachute rigger examiner to like do the practical test with, like, pack in front of and do the oral part of the test with.
Got I have orange. Ralmo's rigging.
Yeah.
I think you can
Yeah, I don't
do.
know. I think the FAA is supposed to provide one within 150 miles.
You have to do the oral exam and stuff with them. But if you need like an actual examiner to sign off on stuff, I think Ralmo's is probably the closest. You can drive down to Orange. You'd have to contact him. He holds like prerequisite courses, and then he holds like riggers courses. Um, I think he tries to accommodate some people and span them over several weekends. Because if you do something like, what is it, Shooting Stars course or Apex's course or something, it's like 2 weeks. Like it's 2 weeks straight through.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
kind of hard.
I'm going the courseless route. Like,
Yeah.
the course isn't required, so I'm
No, you
I'm
just
doing
have
it that way.
the FAA and the oral
Yep.
test and all that stuff.
Yep. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully by the end of summer, I'll have it all done and I'll be able to pack my own reserve and make small repairs and stuff like that.
Sweet.
Yeah. But that's really why I'm doing it. I like the closest rigger that I'm comfortable going to is a 4-hour round trip. And
Sarver.
yeah. Yeah. And that kind of
Worth it.
sucks. What's
Also,
that?
if you're in the market for buying a new house, he's
That's
the man,
right.
Johnny
He's
Ellison.
Johnny Ellison. He'll
For
get you
Handle
hooked up.
Realty. Yeah. He actually just posted a house that I shared. I was like,
Yeah, I saw that.
I was surprised. The inside of it, I was like, man, this place is kind of balling.
You
Like,
seem very interested in the backyard.
man, that backyard is sweet. Like has the trees that are kind of overgrown, shaded, and it's also got some of that, not Rose of Sharon, but whatever those like vine plants that kind of grow up shit.
Morning glories.
Maybe I don't know. I got it in my
So
garage.
yeah, I don't know.
But dude, you could transform that backyard into something like a sweet spot.
I'll have to look at it again. I didn't look very close. Not
Yeah.
like I'm trying to move though.
No,
But
I'm
whatever.
just saying, I'm just looking for a place that's actually a pretty baller pad.
Yeah. So, anyways, that'll be cool. Be able to take care of my own stuff a little bit. Plus, I really like to just have the knowledge. I just want to know how my stuff works. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that
Yeah.
was really the first time that I've ever been inside of the reserve part of the container. So it's kind of neat.
That was your first time?
What's that?
That was your first time?
It was my first time.
Oh shit. Someone owes beer for the beer.
Beer. I don't drink beer anymore, dude. I
Yeah.
haven't had any alcohol since January 8th. I've lost 30 pounds as a result.
Shit. Wow.
Shit. I
Well,
know.
I'm 2 weeks back at the gym, going at least 3 days.
Nice.
Yeah. Felt good though.
I know, dude. Like now that I'm not a fat piece of shit anymore, I feel good. I've been going to the gym too. Like, yeah, I'm
I
feeling
just
real good.
just trying to get back like 3 to 4 days for at least 3 months. But after the first couple of weeks, and it'll be full on. I'll probably go in 4 or 5 days a week.
Nice. Yeah. Once you get a taste of it, you just want more.
It was, man. It felt good. Like the one B went with me. She's been going with me. And then one day we decided to do the sit down bike instead of doing like I always end my lifting with like some sort of steady state cardio, whether it's stair stepper, incline treadmill, you know, sit sit down bike. And I'll tell you what, that sit down bike works your glutes, bro. Like
What do you
after,
mean by a sit down bike? You're just talking about like a stationary bike or like
yeah,
an
but
assault
but you're
bike or what?
yeah, but you're sitting. No, it's not assault. It's
Okay.
you sit down. You sit down like you're sitting in a chair, and you
Yeah.
pedal. You can
Huh.
increase and reduce the resistance. It's pedal powered, so you have to power it to start it up, and then the screen
Yeah, yeah,
comes on.
yeah.
You get to choose your stuff. Blah blah blah.
I got you. Okay.
Dude, after 30 minutes doing that sit down bike, my ass is sore.
That's good.
Yeah, it works your
That's what you
glutes.
want.
But I looked at her. I'm like, man, this feels good to be back because I have been back to the gym like pretty much a year. Took like
Yeah.
a year.
Well, uh, you quit going when you broke your heel, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I stopped going consistently in like February, Marchish because I was concentrating on getting my AFFI certification back or rating back. And right after that, I went to the Prime, and then right after that, I went to Europe. That's when I broke my heel. So I was down for that. Then I ended up getting a grade 3 sprain in my left foot. So that put me
It
down
was
for,
it was just a bad year for you that year, dude.
for another couple of weeks to a month or so. So amongst the plethora of other things. So
Speaking of Europe, um, not this summer, but next summer, Erica and I are planning to go to Italy. So I'm learning
I
Italian.
I just talked. That's funny you said that. I just talked to Scotty Bob today. I was like, hey man, I've talked to you in a while because I got I got jungle fever when I was over there, so I missed like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, oh yeah, you got sick, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm like, hey, I know you said we could meet up in Brento later this summer, September. I said, but I'm not going to be able to make it because there's an incident that happened that's going to cost me some money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if the offer still stands, we can hook up next year. He's like, absolutely, for sure. So I'm planning to go to Brento late next year, like late summer, early fall, September-ish.
All right.
So that's my plan.
Maybe I mean it's a ways out, but maybe we can plan something and go be there at the same time.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
looking
think
to I'm
I'm
looking to
going.
jump.
I don't think I'm going to plan on going anywhere else. I think I'm going to stick to Brento. So
How long do you think you'll be in Brento? Like a couple days or like a week?
it would be like a week or so.
All right.
Week or so, yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can talk Erica into spending a week in Brento and then maybe a week somewhere else doing whatever she wants to do.
Take her, take her to Switzerland, dude.
I know.
I mean, just going to Switzerland to check it out. It looks beautiful. Everybody says it's beautiful. They have hike. They just have hiking trails in the mountains and the hills, and it just looks gorgeous. I've just never been there.
Right.
Like
No, I've never been to Switzerland either, but
that's
I
that's
think it'd be pretty
unbelievable.
sick.
Yeah. But, so yeah, we're back here recording some episodes. I know
Absolutely.
I know a couple people asked like, what happened?
I know. Dude, there have been many people at the job site saying, "What's going on with the podcast, man? Like, I listened to all of the episodes and you guys haven't put it out in a long time." I was like, "Talk to Joe. He's busy."
Yeah, man. Apologies.
For a minute there, dude, I was like, maybe Joe and I got into a fight and I don't know about it.
Yeah, my work schedule just like 100 times over just got so busy. Like sometimes working 12, 14 hours a day, you know, and then,
Dude, I'm not envious at all.
yeah, yeah. So that's a whole, I could go on a whole rant about that, but it's not worth it.
No,
So
it's not. It's not at all.
I think we got some cool ideas coming up. Dan Arnett, who has been on the show before, I can't say a lot about it. He's got some stuff in the works.
He
Sky
does. It's very exciting.
Skydive community related, some technology. Hopefully, when that's ready, he can come on and talk about that a little bit. I'm excited about it.
I heard, I haven't seen it, but I heard he had an article in the latest Parachutist about his thing.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know he was at the PIA and, just trying to network and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think they're still
Were you
working on.
there?
I did not go. No,
No, me either.
that was in February. Yeah. Um,
But yeah, we'll definitely have to have Dan on and talk about that because it's going to be pretty incredible.
yeah. So I think we're going to have him on, talk about that,
So go ahead.
try to get some other interesting people on this season as the season goes. I think people are probably more engaged because, or at least up here, our neck of the woods, the season's finally started.
It has, but dude, the weather still sucks ass. Like
Mostly
April
wind.
and May have sucked.
Mostly wind. It's
Yeah.
that low pressure systems keep flying in, and the wind's just going like this, like round, and 30-mile-per-hour gusts. It's coming north, it's coming south, then it's coming from east, then it's coming from the west, then it's
Well, it's finally starting to come from the west. Like for a long time, it's been coming out of the south, and like if it's coming out of the south, it's still winter winds. You know what I mean? But it's finally starting to come out of the west, which means summer is on its way. Like it's
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll decide to just come southeast, east, southeast, out of the east, southeast. That's the best landing direction, dude.
It is at that drop zone. It is, but usually it's coming out of the west.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, but that's a good sign. That's a good sign. It means it's time. You know.
Yes, sir.
So since it is still the beginning of the season, what do you want to accomplish this year? Like, do you have any goals for the year?
My number one goal this year is to get B her A license.
Right on. Yeah,
If I do nothing else, we're good.
Mr. AFFI with a girlfriend who skydives and doesn't have an A license yet.
Just the season ran out last year, man, and it was so busy at the end of the season last year, you know what I mean? And like just getting more than one jump in because there was, so many tandems and there's only
Well, she
one or
was there quite a bit and like didn't
yeah,
jump quite a few days.
there's just some days she just wasn't feeling it, which is no big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
We got her. I mean, she just gotta. We're just gonna go back a couple categories. Go over everything again. EPs, a lot of the information. But she was whole way to E2, man. Like we were almost there through.
Almost.
I mean, really, the goal actually is to get her A license. But if we just get her through AFF to self supervised, and
Yeah, then
th-
it's
things will go a
smooth
lot
sailing.
things will go a lot quicker for her. Then she can just practice what she needs to get better on, and then do coach jumps, which we got lots of coaches. And I can do coach jumps as an AFFI. You know, it's just getting to that self supervised status, right? Through the AFF portion. That's really the hardest portion to get through, because by the time you get through that, you know, as an instructor, you've deemed this person competent enough to save their own life.
Right. Yeah.
It's not good enough to fly with other people yet until you get your the coach requirements and your A license and the required amount of jumps, etc.
Yeah. I remember a couple years ago when I was getting my A license, I was, telling people I was learning how to skydive and stuff. And they're like, "Oh man, it seems like there's so much stuff, you know?" And I was like, "Yeah, but really at this point, I am only trusted to save my own life. Like
That's
they
it, man.
only trust me to not die. That
Yeah,
is it.
yeah,
Like
dude. Yeah,
I
you're
can
so,
jump and not die.
you have demonstrated
Anything else could
you have
happen, but I'll live."
demonstrated the required amount of times that you can stay, you're stable, you can pull at the right altitude while stable, you can fly your own canopy, you can land yourself, but you need, you know?
That's it. That's all you need.
And then it's really just working on formation stuff, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
taking with other people without being a meat missile and, you know,
Yeah.
injuries and stuff happen in free fall, but they do happen once in a
Yeah.
while. And
Yeah.
it's usually from a large group of inexperienced, you know, a 5-way zoo dive where the guy who has the most jumps has got like 56 jumps.
Everyone's tracking as fast as they can right at the same spot.
Well, there's been people that have been knocked out before.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's that one video where the dude got knocked out and his
Oh,
buddy flew over to him and had to pull his
reserve, yeah.
reserve for him. Yeah.
Pretty old video, actually. Not super old, but it's fairly old.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
new, that's for sure. Yeah.
It's still,
But speaking of coach jumps and stuff, that's something I'd like to do this summer as well. I'd like to get a coach rating. I think if I can get a coach rating and get to 200 jumps,
you're
that
breaking
would
up,
be a,
pal.
a productive summer.
Somebody's using your internet.
Oh no,
I've lost him. I've lost Brian.
those damn kids.
Wait, I can hear you. Okay,
All right,
there we
if
go.
you can
Are
hear
you
me, we're good.
back?
Yeah, you
All
know
right,
what? That's
start over.
bullshit.
Start
All
over.
right,
Speaking
all
of
right.
coach,
Coach jumps. Yeah. I wanna get my coach rating this year. I think if I can get a coach rating in those in 200 jumps, then that would be a productive year.
yeah, man, if that's the goal you set out for,
Yeah, that's what I'm
that's
gonna do.
you have over the amount of jumps required to get your coach rating.
Yeah, don't you only need
You
100?
still have to take, yeah, you need 100. But you still got to be able to take the course and be able to teach and also be able to fly well enough to actually coach someone,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Most likely you're going to be doing a lot of the flying during coach jumps because that particular student may have a problem with backsliding, stuff like that. So just that little stuff is kind of what coaches kind of fine tune at the end is, you know,
A lot of
docking.
this.
A lot of this, man.
A
A
lot
lot
of
of
that.
this is the number one signal for almost every single student is legs out,
Yep.
dude.
Yep. Straighten your legs.
If you see me and my arms are back like this and my legs are straight and I'm like barely coming towards you, that means you're backsliding a
A
lot.
lot. Yeah. Yeah. I've gotten my fair share of this, and I would like to think I'm much better at not doing that now.
I think people just like when they first start jumping, they just get comfortable, right? Like even if you're say you're doing a 4-way, with 3 other people that are 75 jumps, 100 jumps, whatever. I think once you guys build the round or something, everybody kind of just relaxes, right?
Right.
So you're cool, we got it. And then the
We're
legs go
there.
like the legs go from here to here. And then as soon as you break to do anything, everybody goes after time to build the next point, just getting back to everyone.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm guilty of that when I was they were like let's
Well,
get
yeah,
a
I'm sure,
relax.
everybody
Yeah,
does it, yeah.
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 but easy corrections to make.
Yeah. So yeah, I think if I can get a coach rating and get to 200 jumps, that'd be a good year, I think, for me.
Yeah.
And then
I think,
there's
go ahead. There
uh
was what?
Falls Fest. I've committed to going to Falls Fest.
We have two. We rented an RV. We already got our tickets.
Nice.
So everything's already paid for, except for
Yep.
food, obviously, and jumps.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I still have to pay for my room. I'm doing an Airbnb with some people. I gotta
Yeah.
throw them my money for the Airbnb. But yeah, um, definitely gonna do a helo jump. Hopefully the balloon jump too, if the weather's
I
good enough for it.
can jump, but that's what, like first come, first serve. I don't think you can.
You can't reserve it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah. So I'd like to do that if I could.
I haven't done a balloon jump in a long time. Paris is probably the last place I did a balloon jump.
I haven't done one at all. So it's gonna be a year of firsts.
Have
Jumping
you
out
done
of
a
a
heli?
helicopter and jumping up. Nope, haven't done that yet
Oh,
either.
they're both cool.
I'm gonna owe so much beer.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit. You might as well just
A
buy a couple pieces just ahead
keg.
of time. Just buy
Yeah.
3 or 4 cases. Like, here you go, guys. Like, this is. I don't want to hear
For
it.
all the stuff. Yeah.
This is for all stuff, man.
Last time I was in a helicopter was in Iraq when I got blown up. That was the last time I was in a helicopter. It's been a minute.
Man, damn.
It's been a minute.
I wish there was Huey pilots still out there. I want to.
Huey.
Oh, dude, I've heard guys that been on heli jumps out of a Huey, and he's like, man, the ride that you get before you start climbing the altitude is just as good as, if not better than the actual jump itself. Like, depending on what kind of pilot you have. Like, because with the Huey, you can you can fly almost sideways, like
Right.
taking them for a ride, man. I mean, dude, that would be sick.
It would be awesome. I
Yeah,
agree. That would be
because
cool.
you sit with your seatbelts, but with your legs kind of hanging out the door side, like on each side.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
imagine, I would imagine what we're going to do is literally just get on the helicopter. He's going to go straight up to whatever altitude he does, and then
yeah.
we're going to jump out. We're probably not going to have a whole lot of.
You have
I don't think the
forward.
ride's going to be that fun.
They usually try to take you for a little ride at first, and then it's just
Yeah.
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 But
I
you'll have.
figured they probably wouldn't want to waste fuel on having fun flying around. Just
I
get
think
to where you're supposed to be and jump.
they always give you a little ride, like right as you take off and stuff, and then
Hmm,
it's
cool.
up to altitude,
Yeah.
and it's like, all right, guys, I'm gonna have a couple knots of forward speed, just a little bit, you know. If you're if you're gonna hang off the if you're gonna hang off the strut, be quick about it. I'm not staying here forever. Like, if you're not down and off in under like 30 seconds or something, like I'm I'm going. you know, I've
That's a
had
long
pilots.
time, 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like that. We've had pilots like, I'm not hanging out here forever. So you either get off or I'm gonna fly and you're gonna fall off. Like, if you're hanging on the strut, let's make it quick.
I mean, hanging off it would be cool, but I think I'd be happy just standing on it and falling off.
Uh
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know. I don't care. Whatever. I just want to
hanging off
jump out of a helicopter. That's all.
hanging off it's pretty cool. I haven't done it in a really long time.
Well, this summer. Summer's going to be awesome.
I don't
And
have
then there's the
external. I
Halo jumps. Are you doing the Halo jump in
have
Cleveland? You're not going to do that one?
no interest now.
I want to do it just to do it, just to say I've done it. You know what I mean?
If it was like a group of wingsuiters or something, like a 4 or 5 way wingsuit jump, we're like, hey, let's all
We
do
could
it
probably
together.
put one together.
Our plan, this is what we're going to do. It gives you a little more altitude to play around with.
Well, it's
That's
double,
probably,
almost
yeah,
double, 24,000.
and yeah. So other than that, I don't really have an interest.
All right. I think it would be pretty cool. I technically did a Halo jump last year, but it was only 17,000. No, 16,500, I think, something like that. We needed oxygen, so technically,
Well,
But
anything 13,005 or above MSL, Requires oxygen.
Yep. So, anyways, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be an awesome summer.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I've got some base jumps in, so I'd
Right
like to
on.
get some wings. I think one of my goals is probably just getting more wingsuit jumps in this year. I didn't get a lot. I mean, I had some, but like I didn't get as many as I wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What kept you from doing wingsuit jumps?
work AFF,
Oh,
work,
okay.
work
Yeah.
jumps,
Yeah.
work jumps, and then obviously I was broke. Like I broke my foot,
Yeah.
and then I started jumping shortly thereafter, and then sprained my other foot pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Yep.
So now it's
Yep.
got tendonitis in my left foot now, and plantar fasciitis and
Feet.
metatarsалgia in my right foot. Good stuff.
Yeah, your feet are just messed up
Yeah,
forever. Yeah.
yeah, it's no big deal. I've come to terms to accept it. Let's just
Yeah.
play the game, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
So,
Oh, we haven't talked to each other in forever. Do you recall me telling you that I got a container in a reserve on
yep.
like one of those Facebook groups? Oh,
For,
yeah, I
for,
just had to pay shipping for it.
which is that's pretty sweet if you ask me.
And they're both airworthy.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I mean,
the the well, you had mentioned that there's absolutely no way that
I
you could
didn't,
jump in there.
I didn't think that the year that thing was, but if somebody, I'm not also, you know, PSA, everybody, I'm not a master rigger. you know,
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, you are definitely right. I mean, there's both of the reserve and the container were manufactured in 1993, so they're like old as hell. They're like 30 years old.
is
I
that
didn't expect them to. I didn't expect them to be airworthy, but I figured I could just do something cool with it. You know what I mean? But the reserve has never been jumped. It doesn't have a single ride on it.
yeah. Is it,
It's
what
crazy.
is it?
It's a shit. What is it? A PD 143.
F-111?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. But we're using it for in like the to learn to pack reserves. It's like one of the rigs that I'm packing. And so when we were inspecting it, and I was being taught how to inspect a canopy, hanging it up and stuff,
Mine
the
attachment,
uh
blah,
the
blah, blah.
connection points where the lines connect to the reserve to the canopy itself,
Mine attachment points, yep.
yeah, they're not tight at all. Like they've never been tensioned. So like it's never been ridden.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I was
sweet.
pretty.
It's pretty sweet. Somebody actually was like, hey, you want this?
Yeah.
You just pay in shipping.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
it. That's a
The
cool group
contain
he started though.
Yeah, man. Yeah. The container does not fit me, but the reserve's good to go.
Yeah.
Keep packing it.
Hell yeah. That's what a UPT too, right?
The container.
Yeah.
Um
I had a parachute
no.
technology sort of vector.
Yeah, it's a vector, but it was
It's got to be UPT then.
it's not. I think it's too old because when I have to look at my notes.
Did he
It's
have?
not UPT.
What was before? What did Bill start before UP? Before it was UPT
Relative. I have to look at my notes. I can't remember. Relative
workshop.
workshop. Yeah, relative workshop. Is that right?
That might be it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's relative workshop. But yeah, UPT makes vectors now, but the label when it says Relative Workshop Incorporated. That's right.
Relative workshop. I think that is correct.
Yeah, it is. I remember now. It is.
Yeah. As soon as you said relative, I'm like, oh, relative workshop. It's been a long time since I've heard anybody say that.
It
Yeah.
is pretty old.
Yeah. Relative workshop. Then it changed to UPT, United Parachute Technologies. 1972 started. Oh, 1972 Relative Workshop started. And then he changed the name to UPT. Do you know that they used to jump tandems with only 2 attachment points?
No.
Yeah, when the first tandem rigs only had 2 attachment points at the shoulders.
Other shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
But the problem was if your
Well,
student's legs,
didn't
right?
arch. Yeah.
Well, not that, not only that, but the problem was if your student got offset from you like that,
Oh yeah.
now you're just going to spin like a helicopter.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, so, like, that's when he improved the Sigma tandem system, the 4 point attachments, and
I wonder how
yeah,
many times that had to happen.
Vogues,
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but there's pictures out there of tandems with the student, you know, is
Yeah.
like it's always backwards, is cockeyed from the
Yeah.
instructor.
That'd
So
be
sometimes it
insane.
was fine. Sometimes it was fine. Other times it wasn't. you know. But yeah, they
Yeah.
used, and I don't know what the requirement is anymore. I know it used to be like if you were in the plane at all, like before you had take or take had before you took off, you had to have at least one attachment point connected, even if you were in a seatbelt at
Hmm.
all times. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what it is.
don't think that's what it is anymore.
I don't know. I can't get my rating anyway, so I'm not even gonna read the book.
Yeah. Well, just watching TIs and how they hook people up and when they do
yeah,
it, I don't think
I,
that's the requirement anymore.
yeah, I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you. Can't speak to that.
Yeah, me either. Don't know anything
But
about that.
yeah, I thought it was interesting. Like if you didn't know that, it's pretty nuts. And
Well,
they
I mean,
used to do
everything started somewhere, right? Like, even like with base jumping, when they started base jumping, they were doing it with skydiving gear, you know?
car finish.
Yeah.
First
So, I
one to do
mean,
it.
everything started somewhere. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at all that but yeah, that's enough. Let's just hook them up at the shoulders. That'll be good enough. And then find out it's not.
Yeah. Bill Booth, Board of Trustees, Stetson University. I don't know. You go to his Wikipedia page. A lot
That's
of
the dude with the beard at the beginning of all the, yeah, the videos at the DZs.
has a. I don't know if he still has it, but he used to fly around in a seaplane.
I don't know.
No, he did. Like he had like a seaplane.
Yeah, like
Like
with floats.
pontoons. Yeah, yeah. He had one of those. Yeah, yep. He founded the Relative Workshop, and then at some point changed it to UPT.
Hmm. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
he.
I'm glad I remembered.
I
I'm
forgot
glad I
about a lot
remembered
of
that.
stuff because I learned a lot of stuff when I was a student, like in the early 2010s. Like he invented the throw out pilot chute because before that it was like a spring loaded. It was
For
a
your
spring
main.
loaded.
Hmm.
You pulled it, but the handle stayed. Like you
Right.
pulled it and you just let go and it stayed, and that's what released the spring to really pull your
Yeah.
round and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
he created the throw out pilot chute. It's pretty sweet. Yeah.
You know what I don't understand, and this is probably something I'll learn as I continue doing this rigging stuff. Why on your reserve is your free bag and pilot chute separate from the canopy? Why can't they be connected like they are with the deployment bag and a pilot chute in your main?
Somebody just asked me this the other day, and
There's got to
I
be a
can't.
way to do it. There's got to be a way.
But yeah, but that's just something. So if your reserves out, obviously shit's hit the fan. Like my guess is that's just something else that can get entangled
Just
if you pull.
don't want it to be there to get all caught. Yeah, maybe.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Your main, your pilot chute collapses, and you trails behind you. If you got all that fabric out there, and then now you have a free bag, you have a D bag and a pilot chute attached to the reserve that could possibly get tangled as the mains being cut away, and then
Yeah, I
now
guess.
you have entanglement.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess. Or if like, you have like a two out, then that could be bad or make it worse or something, I guess.
Sure, there's a better explanation for it. I don't know what the real answer is, and who
Yeah. I mean,
decided
that would
that.
be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it just seems like, I don't know. It seems like there's a way it should be able to stay connected, but
Well,
maybe not. I don't know enough. I don't know enough.
if you're doing everything right, and your gear's good. No 100% guarantee, but more than likely you won't need to use it.
Well,
You
that is the
know?
hope. Yeah,
And then
that
you
is the
don't have
hope.
to find in it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, man. Well, yep, it's getting late, and we gotta
Yeah.
save some for the next episode.
Cool. No, yeah. I think we got a couple good ideas coming up.
Yeah, man. I'm
Let's continue.
excited. I'm happy we're doing this again.
Yeah. I just want to. I'm ready to get back in the sky. Oh, also, you don't know Jake real well, Jake Cantino.
I
He,
know him, but yeah, not super well.
he finally did his first jump back like a
Yeah,
week. Yeah, he'd been out of it on injured reserve for over a year.
yeah. Well, he
Full
jacked up
surgery.
his ankle too, didn't he? They had to have all oh, and then he had complications with it and stuff.
Yeah, because somebody
Yeah.
effed up the first surgery and then a whole
Yep.
bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll have him
Well,
on and
good.
tell tell everybody about it.
Yeah. Well, welcome back, Jake. That's exciting.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, holy shit, dude, that's awesome.
All right. Well, good
So
deal.
good for
That's
him.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, as always, everybody, follow us on the social media stuff, Facebook and Instagram. And you know what? Fuck it. We don't post anything on Instagram. I don't
Right.
post anything on Instagram. Do you?
No,
Nah.
I barely
Just
post anything of myself on myself. The other shit, like I don't.
just find us on Facebook, Beer Skydiving Podcast, or email us at
We had
beerpodcast24@gmail.com.
however many episodes we've had, not a ton, but we've only ever received, I think, 2 emails.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, except for that one guy who's trying to like get us to buy followers or something. But whatever. Yeah.
Well, we get that shit all the time too, junk mail.
Yeah.
You know? Hey,
All
we
right.
can podcast for you.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, people.
All right. Until next time, Joe.
Glad to be back. See you next
Blue
time. Skies.
skies.
Later, people.